Hi folks, Heather here, and welcome to the journey. This week I thought I would take you over to the property so that you could have a bit of a look around. Today we're going to be doing some clearing, and I can show you some of the sites that we have planned, and yeah, so here we go. We're exploring a different part of the property today. We've already pretty much decided where we want to build our forever home. And we know that the first building is probably not going to be that. So we're looking at this spot as a possibility. Through here you have like a small ravine, and then on the other side we want to do our home. There's the easement. But we gotta get all of this cleared out so we can kind of see what usable space we have. But this is what we're thinking. So we're gonna put the first building here. And we're looking at the end of February before it's ready. You can see them. They're just kind of exploring the boundaries. We're awfully close to the boundary on this side, but we don't have anyone. Our neighbor's not building right there, so it's all sloped. But this could be it. I don't know. It's got some nice views. Some tree coverage from the wind, which is definitely a plus. And a lot of desert grass and some of these bushes, but these are all gonna get cleared. Hopefully that gets started today. If it does, I'll try to get some of that filmed for you guys. So I think our biggest concern right now is, are they going to be able to fit the building down this road? And that may really limit what we can do. So we're, gonna knew we would live tiny for a while, but we were hoping not as tiny as this road. So I gotta call and find out if they can get down this road, or we're gonna have to adjust our order, which would be really disappointing. You see Eddie over there, probably not clearing. We should have a friend be coming by with a tractor and some other equipment to help clear out this area. Now that we found it, we weren't sure, like we've been going back and forth, but we still think the other side is going to be better for animals because of the pasture, and then also Amari loves it out here. Also, we're concerned that even if they can get down this road, the further back you get, the more tricky it becomes because there's twists and turns. So this makes a good first spot. It's right at the beginning of the property. So yeah, one day it can become part of a grander plan. But for now, I think it'll be our home. You can see my husband marking a spot, maybe. It's very difficult. My hands are full. I have tea. And I also have gloves on. Oh, there he is. He's marking a little spot where he wants it. Because you know, he wants the best views. This really looks like just a dip. A ravine of some sort, but I don't think water runs here. But if you look towards that area, right past that tree over yonder, there's definitely a creek bed there. So yeah, this will be like what is between us, because we're looking at building just on this other side of this ravine, our forever home. And basically, this area over here is going to be the very first building. So we got a lot of clearing out, because this is basically going to be my front yard on one side and my backyard on the other. So we're going to have to, some of this we're going to do by hand because we don't want to get rid of all of the bush. I believe this is sagebrush. And so it's, when it's like this, it's very like prickly, but it's not thorny. It just will stick you because the stems are quite vicious. But I think it's all sagebrush, and yeah, we're not going to be getting rid of all of that because I don't know if you can tell, but primarily like the soil is definitely comprised of a lot of sand, which is why we'll be using the greenhouse. This has the X of death. It's got to go. So, yeah, there we go. Now we're back to the area that I showed you initially, where we're going to put the first building. So this is all going to get cleared with a machine, a tractor, some sort. But really just so that we can put the building here and so that we can, get our start. I'm just like, I get so mesmerized. Bit of a windy day. But really, it's not that bad. With the sunshine, it feels really nice. We layer. I always have like a wool base layer on, or at least I do. My husband does sometimes, sometimes not. And then I put on, a top layer usually, and that's plenty. And then, so like right now I have on my wool base layer, a sweatshirt, and, my little puffer coat. And I'm good. A beanie. Oh, so he's checking out the border of the property. Like, we have a current survey, but we're trying to find all the markers. And yeah, we just want to make sure we're on the right side of that. But yeah, this makes the most sense. They would not have to drive as far down the easement because it gets more precarious the further you go, just in terms of the width of the road. And they're going to need substantial width to get the building down here because it's already constructed. Everything's pretty dead out here. I'm trying to get us to the road. The easement, as it were, which is free for anyone in the community to use. And our property is towards the back, so we do not have direct county road access. However, it's super close. It's only like half a mile or so. So yeah. Oh, I can't wait to get this all cleared. But I'm wondering, we purchased in October. Is that right? Or November? I can't remember. Yeah, it was like November. For our wedding anniversary. I remember saying, "Happy anniversary." So yeah. Here we go. So what I'm doing now is like this here is where we're gonna put the first building. And I don't know if you can tell, but there's like a little opening right here between this set of trees. This is kind of where I want first greenhouse, which may really just be a high tunnel with some raised beds. Eddie says I'm always thinking ahead, but I can't wait to grow my own food. So that will be the plan, to get all of that situated. The first building will be completed, along with a really nice vegetable garden to support us and maybe a few members of the community. There are ways to partner with the university to do regenerative farming, so I'm really looking forward to that. And now when you come up the road a little further, you get kind of a general idea of where we want to build our forever home. As you can see, we got a few trees that we need to take down. This is really super raw. So we're thinking right here, we would have another driveway, and our forever home is going to go back in here. And then if you follow me on Instagram, I have some videos there where I have like literally gone out and walked the property. So you may already know this part because I have shown it before, so this part may be familiar. But this is the end of the creek here. I don't know what the deal is, if it's seasonal or I guess we're gonna find out. But it kind of, this is the big one. So like once you get past those trees in the center, it's just really a lot of rocks and creek beds all the way down to the edge of the property. So I'm hoping we get runoff from the mountain and snow melt. That would be kind of cool. But if you have been kind of keeping your eye on the Instagram lives or reels, you'll have seen this part before. I spent a lot of time here. This is definitely back in here. You can see it's already, we've worked, I say we, my husband has already worked on doing some clearing here. But then when we got to talking, we were like, we know we're not going to live in that first building forever, and we don't necessarily want it like in our backyard. So, but this is where we want to put our forever home. And then on the other side of the creek bed, and you'll have seen this on the Instagram lives if you're tracking me there, we have lots of open pasture. There's like another small creek bed, and then we have some trees that line the property, a huge ravine that's been caused by probably water at one point, and air, because this is a very arid climate. And that's the part, because there's a lot more open space that we're thinking we eventually want to have animals. Like cows and goats and that sort of thing. So it's just past this. Let's see, I can go ahead and walk over there and show you. But it's basically, yeah, we're just walking down the easement, but everything to the right of me is ours. So here you can see the culvert. Is that what they call that? A culvert? Culvert? I don't know. But yeah, so there's got to be water that comes through here from snowmelt. Okay. So I really love this part of the property as well. So we have the creek bed on one side and then the smaller ravine on the other. But this part of the property, I don't want to do anything to. Like, there's so many rocks. I don't want to move all of this. I want to leave it as natural as possible. So we're thinking of putting some trails through here. And along the property on the other side as well, where the first building will be. But all of this could have trails through here. And then this is the open part of the property. It's very open pasture. Some trees, not a ton. And that big hill that you see in the back, that is not ours. Like, our property stops short of that. But my husband and I really like this side as well. But the road, I think it's more narrow as you come up here. So the idea of having somebody bring a building up here, I just don't know. So, but this is the side. We do like this side. We want to clear this side out along the ravine here, so that we can have some trails back through there that you can access. And then there's some really, really lovely spots in the back. I don't know if you can tell that kind of that grouping of trees back there. Some really lovely spots back there that we're thinking eventually putting like a barn back there. So yeah, we'll see. We've already kind of started, I'll walk over here so you can tell, but we've already kind of started the driveway, if you will, on this side. So we've kind of already started a road that kind of goes through the property here. So you can see the cows enjoy being over here. This is all open range, so you know, you get lots of neighbor cows, and that's great. We love it. We try to keep our dog close so that she's not hurting anybody. We think a deer may have done this. This is where I pulled some of that pine. If you watch me on Instagram, you've probably seen me make some pine medicine. I also probably should get this up, but we think this might have been done by a deer. We don't know. But it was not us. So yeah, this is an area that this is over by the canyon. There's the Red Canyon there. That's my neighbors. Let me turn back around. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, so we want to use this part for animals. I would like a deck out here at some point, and maybe a gazebo. I love the views on this side of the property. But we don't have near as many trees or coverage from wind, which, you know, that's something to consider. But if you we're thinking buildings along the edge of the property where the split is, and these trees that you see, and I think that will work nicely to get some wind coverage. And I think it's just going to work really well for like a barn meditation space. Like I said, I'd love to have a deck out here. One day, I'm dreaming, which is good. That's how it starts, right? But I'd love to have a deck out here with some meditation space, maybe a gazebo, some gardening, some gardens, you know, all of that stuff. But that'll be a ways, you know, that'll be a bit down the road. We're focused primarily on getting this first building. Then from there, setting up an off-grid life. And then we will work towards more of a sustainment plan, digging a well, and all of those types of things. But I tell you, like, my ultimate goal at this point is I just want to get out to the property. I love it here. I love being here. You might be able to hear the tractor. It'd be great if I can actually catch them. Okay, so here we are back to the forever home site. Excuse me. And it's not the very, very front of the property. But it's close to the front edge of the property. Okay. So yeah, it's begun. So I'm gonna come and try to get a little bit of footage of this for you. And just to say, you know, like, community is everything. Particularly out here, but in general, like, community is everything, and we would not, I think, have made it as far as we have with this dream of ours without the help of community and people who, you know, have believed in us. That's, you know, that's everything, right? To have supportive people in your corner who have your back. And luckily we've been able to find a little bit of that. You know, he's still moving. It's like, I'm a bit concerned. He's smoking. There he goes. I don't know how I'm recording. I apologize. It's very difficult to see because the sun is so bright. So, but yeah, it's a neighbor. He's got a pretty old tractor, but he gets the job done. First I thought it was smoking, then I realized, oh, that's sand and dirt.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna blow it. Just kind of like green. Like with the, it's like taking a shovel and just scraping. It's not the lawnmower part.
Ah. These are some of the views that you kind of see as you are moving towards the road. We do have a neighbor across the way. We do have neighbors around, but everybody has over 35 acres, or at least 35 acres. So yeah. And he's just out there removing like big tree stumps and larger pieces of wood. So yeah. This is the beginning. There's lots of dust in the air right now. So yeah, I really hope things will start to kick off more by the end of February. But at this stage, this is kind of what we're up to. Finding the sites, trying to... We don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves, but we also have to have enough of a plan to recognize like how far apart buildings should be and like where our usable space is and things of that nature. So yeah, stay tuned. Like I said, should be at the end of February. So Eddie's basically trying to see if he can't get some of this cleared away by the road, because it looks like our property actually does cross over the road. Not a lot, but a bit. So if that's the case, if we could make the road just a little wider, oh, that would be so lovely. I mean, it's already 13 feet across at its widest point. But as you start to move, as I mentioned earlier when we headed down that way, as you start to move along the road, it does get narrower. Stay close, Amari. Stay close, baby. So he's basically like trying to get everything into piles so that we can get rid of it at some point. But it looks like they've pretty much made our first driveway, which is gonna have to be right here. And then we'll definitely have our driveway near our forever home, and then we want to do another one by the barn. As you can see, it's a pretty old tractor, but it seems to be getting the job done. Clearing out quite a bit of this and making it easier for Eddie to get in there. Clear away some of the others. So, as you can tell, it's very sandy soil. And we've got kind of piles of brush that we're going to have to deal with. And dirt we'll have to redistribute, but it helps us, you know, get a start. Glad that you could join us this week for what feels like the groundbreaking of our new life here in Colorado. And I hope that you'll come back next week to see what we get ourselves into. Until then, blessings to you and yours. Bye.